Hey, in case nobody's asked you this today, are you okay?
Someday my dream will come. One night you'll wake up and you'll discover it never happened. It's all turned around on you. It never will. Suddenly you are old. It didn't happen. And it never will because you were never going to do it anyway. You're pushing in a memory then zone out in your Barco lounger, being hypnotized by daytime TV for the rest of your life.
The best revenge is to be undeniable.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you can't do something, not even yourself.
If you're aiming towards greatness, you don't get there by what other people think.
I realize you go higher, you go even more alone.
To be exceptional means that you are the exception. It means that you are not normal. And so it's normal for normal people to find you abnormal if you do things that are not normal.
This isn't for the masses. This is for those who want to leave normal behind. Those who are in search of a new realm.
The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer. Pain is temporary.
Don't let people who have mediocre goals,
but eventually it will subside,
deter you from taking actions that make you great.
And something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no light. There's a song Metallica has, No Leaf Clover, and it says, man, when it comes to the soothing light at the end of your tunnel, it's just a freight train coming your way.
The idea of reaching this golden year it's a very flawed idea.
I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass.
You have to control your mind. Have sovereignty over your mind. Like if your mind starts getting anxious, okay, I know we're getting weird, it's time to work out. Okay, I know maybe we should meditate, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. Don't just keep scrolling.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different. And if you're not doing the now, don't ever expect the later to be the person you want to look in the mirror.
If you feel you made it, you lost the game already. You're never going to compete with the guys at the top because everyone's going to tell you, dude, you're amazing, dude, you're killing it, dude, you're this. You almost have to be deaf when you hear that from people.
Those fucking days where you feel like shit, you're like, oh fuck, you know, you're feeling sorry for your fucking stuff, you're making all these excuses. You just gotta say, fuck that. Stop thinking you're just fucking doing. Your instinct to be a fucking literal animal kicks in.
You gotta be the person that fucking loves the shit that everyone hates. That's how you become better than the person next to you.
But you can't be afraid. That's one thing in life is you can't be a fucking afraid. Before you can have anything, you gotta lose everything. And that's the confinement. You gotta lose that confinement that you have yourself in and others around you have placed you in. You have to fucking lose that.
You gotta keep working. Your time's gonna come, trust me. You gotta work.
Just keep working. You're not getting what you want, keep working. You are getting what you want, keep working.
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better.
Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired.
How about days off? One day, but not today. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world. Do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck. You must be willing to extend yourself to the limit with no guarantee of success.
If you have a solid grasp, a solid visualization of what you want to make happen, all there is to it is simply making it happen.
The reason you want it so damn bad is because you know you can get it. You know you're capable. You know if you do everything right or everything that you're supposed to do, that you can achieve it. And when you know you can do it, you get pissed off when you don't have it already. And see, the problem is so many people don't think that they can do it. That's when you lose your drive. People want to talk about where's that fight.
The hardest things are usually the best. If it's easy, leave it to somebody else.
You want to be great, you need to sacrifice. The more painful the sacrifice, the greater you'll be.
I sacrificed everything. I will sleep
train, eat, repeat.
To get anything of value, you have to sacrifice.
What do you want to give up? What do you want to sacrifice?
You know that the harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing.
When you're suffering or you're lazy or you're procrastinating, doing something that's harder than the state that you're in bounces you back much faster.
I felt indestructible because I thought, no one's doing this. Everyone's having a night off. I'm having a night off. And that just makes you feel more powerful.
Look, man, my father died when I was 10 years old. He had cancer. You know, he died like in 2 weeks. Buried him on Christmas. Right after that, 19 years old, my mother died from cancer. My aunts, uncles, everybody in my family died from cancer before I even turned pro. I was like, you know what? I have nothing else to live for, so I'm going to go 100%. Everything that I was going through when my life felt like it was falling apart, it was for a greater purpose.
You know, you can't be social, you can't be out doing a lot of other activities. So you put on the blinders and you have tunnel vision on what that ultimate goal is. I was always on track with everything. I mean, everything was structured. I lived in a fucking box in order to be the best.
When you said, I'm all in, were you really all in? Let me tell you what the cost of being all in is. Early mornings, late nights, being misunderstood, having very few friends, being your own cheerleader. Are you those things? People always talk about, I'm a hard worker. Everybody in this room is a hard worker. That's not going to separate you from anybody else. What are you working hard on?
All I know is this. I want them to say that motherfucker never quit. He never quit. No matter the odds, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation, no matter who was against him or who was with him, that motherfucker showed up. He showed up. He showed up. He showed up to fight, to scrap, to claw, and he gave himself a chance. He led the way.
It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs, and it's natural when you're down to doubt yourself and to feel sorry for yourself. And by the way, your opponents have self-doubt too. Don't ever forget that. But negative energy is wasted energy. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion.
Now, my belief came from the unseen work. It came from every workout by myself. Not having a best friend or a trainer or someone wake me up. No, it was fighting average alone.
Most people want change without the challenge. They want glory, but avoid the grind. But greatness doesn't come wrapped in comfort. Every step forward is paid in struggle. But it's in those moments that the real work begins.
The sun rises and the sun sets. And you're in the same damn spot.
You're gonna die never even trying to reach your full potential. And how's that gonna feel? You're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind.
Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice.
Were you really all in? Let me tell you what the cost of being all in is. Early mornings, late nights, being misunderstood, having very few friends, being your own cheerleader. Are you those things?
There is nothing impossible to him who will try. I was not born to follow. I was born to conquer. To hesitate is to die. To doubt is to kneel. And I was not made to bow. Fortune does not favor the cautious. It belongs to those who seize it with both hands.
Right now, every single one of you out there have exactly what you deserve. You might think that life is unfair. You might think that life dealt you a bad hand, but I'm here to tell you life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you've been tolerating mediocrity, you've been tolerating average, you've been tolerating this victim mentality that you're carrying, then guess what? You have exactly what you deserve.
You're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. You know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it.
If you can barely decide to take any action at all, and peel your eyes away from your phone for just a moment, it's so much easier to beat everyone else because most people are overweight, they're distracted, they're poor, they have so few skills, because in a world where it's never been easier to do nothing, doing something becomes extraordinary.
The reality of achievement is it takes way longer than we think, it's way harder than we think, and that's just the way it is, bro.
If you had to create a human, what would you put them through to make them tough? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life. What would you put them through to make them patient? You probably wouldn't give them things immediately.
So I'm here to tell you that it will take longer. It will be more difficult. It will require more effort on your part. But you know what I can tell you about that? When you do the hard things, you will have a happy and easy life. But if you constantly choose to take the path of easy and negotiate and compromise, you will have a hard life. A hard life that ends with regret.
Look, anybody can do things that are easy. You know, it's like, how do you behave when things are difficult or when the shit hits the fan? That's what defines you.
The growth you want demands the discomfort you avoid. The success you chase requires sacrifices you're afraid to make. This is the unspoken contract of ambition. Nothing worthwhile comes without a cost. Every level up in your life brings new challenges, not fewer.
I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called whatever the fuck in the world, and be able to stand in the fucking room and say, go fuck yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. And I started opening different doors that I didn't think were even there, that I didn't think even existed. And the more doors I opened up, the more I started realizing that my potential is damn near endless.
But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself.
Come home, watch Netflix, go to sleep, repeat. That's most people. You have family problems, job problems, their car's fucked, something's wrong with their house they gotta fix, they have bills, everything's piling up. People are immensely distracted. Most people don't have much discipline, and they don't have to.
When the demons show up, are you the one who can stare darkness in the face and say, I hear you, but you don't get to decide? Or do you fold? Because when everything inside you screams quit, and you take one more rep, one more step, that's the real you. And that's where greatness lives.
That's 6 inches in front of your face! Now I can't make you do it! You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. Hell yeah. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him.
If you never quit, if you never give up, if you never give in, you're gonna get exactly what you wanted. All you had to do was don't be a fucking coward, and you still failed. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't care about excuses. God doesn't care about excuses. And the winners who went through the exact same things you're going through, who didn't quit, don't care about excuses.
I realize you go higher, you go even more alone. Why? Because nobody is willing anymore to invest their energy in going higher. Because it's becoming more difficult.
Get totally pissed off with what you're doing. You're capable of doing so much better than you're doing.
See, our problem is we're hooked on silly limitations. You don't have any limitations.
It's never too late. If you're alive, you can get better. If you're alive right now, you can improve your condition. You can improve your situation, and it starts with improving the way you think. That's the most important thing. The way you think of things, the way you think of things, the way you address things, you've got to change that.
When your plan fails, when those bullshit fucking laws get too heavy, when you get knocked the fuck down in the fucking canvas, when everything falls apart in your life, and your plan is fucked up, what the fuck are you gonna do? There's only one motherfucking option. Stay fucking hard. Life is always giving you a test. Trying to give you a way out. Trying to give you an excuse not to show up. So what's your fucking excuse? Is it too cold where you live? Is it too hot where you live? Does it rain too fucking much? There's so many times in life you don't want to be doing what the fuck you're doing. You can't just fucking quit.
This isn't a hobby. This isn't a fucking joke. It's a fucking lifestyle.
Would you like a life where you never did anything that challenged you or pushed you? Would you choose that? No. So why are you complaining about your life being full of that? Pressure in itself isn't a problem. It's the story we tell ourselves about our pressure that causes us to be unhealthy. Stress and pressure don't actually kill people unless you believe it will.
Think you become a champion on the field? You don't. You become a champion when ain't nobody watching you. You're doing your own drills in your own way. You're doing what coach tell you to do, and you're doing your own stuff.
You know, okay, this hurts, that hurts. We can just sit down and do nothing. Or we can see how far we can push the human body.
The top 1% do what the 99% won't. 99% of people won't wake up at 4 a.m. to chase their goals. 99% won't put in the extra hours when they're tired. 99% won't invest in their mind while everyone else is partying. 99% won't stay disciplined when motivation runs out. And that's exactly why they stay average.
When you're obsessed with something, it doesn't require discipline because you can't wait to do it again. Ike Tyson said best,
discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
I'm going to do the same thing again today, but I'm going to try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, way down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days.
The reason that I started working out was because I was so unbelievably insecure. So my drive was directly correlated with how people perceive me. I started because I didn't like people's perception of my weak, fragile, skinny state. So that's what spawned the motivation for me to change that. I wanted to be perceived as like bigger, better, like stronger, right? So even if that, maybe insecurity or validation wasn't transmuted through my social media activity, it would be transmuted in my day-to-day life. Absolutely.
Work is behind the scene. Competition is the easy part. Behind the scenes is where the work is done.
Over and over and over again. You consistently would not give up. You consistently battled against yourself to become better. In this world, you got one enemy at all times, and that's you. You gotta win so many times that yesterday you sick of losing, and there's nothing they can do about it. Let's fucking go.
My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
It never gets any easier. You gotta get harder.
It's time to recertify the savage.
No one cares what you did yesterday. It only matters what you're doing today.
Get after and stay hard.
Losing in life is so important, whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss, those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better.
You're not meant to feel confident right now. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're not meant to have everything figured out. When you're becoming someone new, everything feels strange and scary. Of course it does. You've never been this person before. You're walking a path you've never walked.
This is how it works. It's persistence, it's fortitude, it's grit, it's persevering the hard times. It's pushing through the times when everybody else quits. It's pushing through those times that produce the greatness that everybody searches to have. By telling you this, I'm trying to tell you that being tired is part of the fucking game. Okay, so it's not a valid excuse. It's normal. It's a constant. It's part of being human. And if you want to be a high achiever, guess what? You're gonna have to acclimate yourself to being fucking tired way more than you're not tired.
How many of y'all want it today? I got a ring. Chris, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Rock, you ain't got one, you don't know what it feel like. Remember, you ain't got one, you don't know what it feel like. Boss, you ain't got one, you don't know what it feel like. I'm telling you right now, it's the best feeling in the world. And if it's on me today, you gonna have one after this. If it's on you, Tia, you gonna have one after this. Oh, is it on you? Kareem, is it on you?
I'd rather die drunk, broke at 34 and have people at a dinner table talk about me than live to be rich and sober at 90 and nobody remember who I was.
And I would rather die at 45, 50 years old, having my name in the record books and having really achieved something with my life than to live a life like all these people around me. I live to a fucking 100, but I don't achieve anything.
I wanted to feel something besides defeat. When you have a real fear of dying and being just another person, if that makes you feel good, that's great. It didn't make me feel good. I have to become someone in this world, or I'm no good for anybody. I was trying to reinvent my mind, and I used every single tactic possible to do that. I didn't want to live in this world where I was a fake human being anymore, and I was tired of blaming everybody for where I was at. Tired of how I feel. I'm tired of lying to myself, lying to people, and just being some piece of shit.
Believe you're the best, because when you embrace that belief, you turn the impossible into the inevitable. Believe with such intensity that your very presence becomes pressure, that your discipline becomes contagious, that even in silence, people feel it. Believe you're the best, because if you don't, who will?
When you want to achieve the highest goal of all time, you are going to have to learn how to get your ass kicked all the way up that damn mountain. If I want to be way up here, it's going to take a bunch of small, micro failures along the way. But you have to understand that that is part of the process.
Live your life with character, honor, and discipline. And if you live that way, I guarantee you, your goals and dreams will get accomplished.
The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it. You accept it, cry it out if you need to, and then force a smile. You move on, be relentless, adapt and grow, work harder, work smarter.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it.
You just do the work and you get there. The human mind, the human body, the human psyche is so pliable. You can literally become anyone and anything. Multiply that over time and experience, and don't quit even when it sucks.
You can always do something. If your ankle is sore, well, is your arm sore? So what's the problem? Do what you can. People use things as an excuse, you know what I mean? Okay, something's off, so I can just chill on everything now. But it's important not to do that.
Society tells you that you shouldn't be in a hurry. Society tells you that, look, don't set your expectations too high because you'll be disappointed when you can't achieve those expectations. Society tells you that, you should be more realistic, be more reasonable with your goals. See, to you, all those things that are actual traits of successful people, you've been conditioned to think that these are traits of people who are cutthroat and harsh, but they're not.
One day in the gym is basically imperceivable. 2 days in the gym, you don't recognize any change whatsoever. 100 days in the gym, and you're almost a new person.
You got that day, you woke up, you put your shoes on, you went for a run, you worked out your driveway, you got a good day in. That's sometimes all you need to do and decide, this is what I do from now on. I have good days. Tomorrow's going to be another good day, and then I'm going to force myself into another good day. And the next thing you know, I've got some momentum. You got some momentum, you can change everything.
A warrior is a motherfucker who says, I'm here again today. I'm here again tomorrow. It's a person that puts no fucking limit on what's possible.
In bodybuilding, you can't tiptoe your way through a workout. You can't fake eating 6 and 7 meals a day. There's no way you can properly recover by training hard and then going out partying all night. It's all or none.
Training isn't just about going in and just going through the motions. Every single set is like a chance to create a personal victory.
We want to get in shape for summer, set these goals and then work towards it every fucking day. All my fucking life, bro. People, they told me like, nothing's gonna work with you, man. You're just a fucking quitter. And I'm like, no, bro. I'm better than this, man. I'm stronger than this. And then I learned from a very early age, man, I learned there's nothing that you can do but just make it yourself.
When you start saying things like, I hope it is fucking hard. I hope it's so fucking hard that no one can do it. That way, when I do it, I'm that much more ahead of everybody.
I want it so fucking hard, to be so hard and so challenging that when I get it, man, I reap all the reward. And when you fight average alone, what comes out is a fucking savage, a dog, a beast, a monster.
When you push past the doubt, fight through the discomfort, and decide to show up anyway. Strength isn't given, it's earned in the trenches. Resilience isn't taught, it's built in the face of adversity. Because every struggle you endure is shaping the unstoppable version of you. So keep going.
Now you know how big this fire can get. You know how dangerous you could be. You just gotta stoke the fire every day. You gotta keep adding to it. Every time you add to it, it gets a little bigger. It gets a little more possible. It doesn't seem so crazy anymore. And after you add it enough, you see what's capable. Until one day that fire's there and it's fucking raging, all because of a spark. Maybe you're happy exactly where you are in life. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are. But don't be mad. When you're laying there in your fucking bed and you're in the fucking hospital and you're 70, 80, 90 years old and you're thinking, man, I feel like I didn't fucking do something. Because you did. You didn't do it. You didn't do shit. You may have lived a great life, man, but you're always gonna feel empty inside.
A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. A real man, when coach ain't even watching, he's studying film on his own. Because he loves the process.
You need to let discipline be your guide, not how you feel. You don't feel like working out? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you don't feel like working out. It doesn't matter. It's not part of the calculation.
That's your new norm. That's your new norm. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. It's just life. I wake up, while it still sucks, it's just life. I have days I don't want to do it, but I know I'm going to do it. I know from years of just doing it. And once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
You do not fear death. You think this makes you strong. Makes you weak. Why? How can you move faster than possible? Fight longer than possible? Without the most powerful impulse of the spirit, the fear of death.
It is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
Failure has been achieved, thank God.
Now, the only place to go from failure is to win and keep winning until I attain my dream. My dream is already smeared with blood. I don't regret. I don't feel guilty.
You know, how big can I get? How ripped can I get? How strong can I get? I want to go to the max. I don't want people to say, wow, that's a nice, pretty physique. I want people to say, what the fuck is that?
People want this to be cut and dry. They want this to be easy. They want it to be quick. They want it to be painless. There's nothing easy, quick, and painless about being fucking great at building anything in life, creating anything in life, becoming anything in life. You are going to suffer. It is going to be hard. It is going to take all of your energy. It's going to kick you in the fucking face 1,000 times.
And you won't die. And if you do die, you won't care because you'll be dead. And so, best case, you win. Worst case, it won't matter.
Because I want to be great.
And you're not.
I want to be one of the greats.
And you promised yourself. You fucking promised yourself you'd be the best fucking person you can be. That is what makes you train. That is what makes muscles grow. Nobody fucking knows the secret. That is it.
Don't fucking die like this, bro.
Believe in yourself and don't rely on anybody to believe in you. Don't rely on anybody to push you or make you better. Believe in yourself and only yourself and allow that human being to make you a better person.
And I was like, I think there was part of me that was a psychopath out there because I was extremely hyper competitive every day. I didn't feel like, okay, let's get to Sunday and then now it's the time. Like every day was the time.
In any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life in it, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is.
There's a lot of bitch-ass men out there that don't like it when guys are working harder than them. And they try to bring those people down. And
They say you don't meet your true self until you're exhausted, because comfort hides the truth, but exhaustion drags it into the light. And what you find there? It's everything you've been avoiding. But it's you. The real you. The one stripped of ego. Nowhere else to run. Nowhere else to be. Except in the moment.
Because you might as well be dead. Seriously, if you always put limits on what you can do, physical or anything else, it'll spread over into the rest of your life. There are no limits, there are only plateaus. A man must constantly exceed his level.
I genuinely fear for the day where you realize just how much potential you had, where you realize that all of the limitations that you put on yourself were completely made up.